kicking with that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Um, so I mean this has been fun that we've reconnected so many times. It's the great King, Patrick King.
Thank you,
Uh
thank you, thank you.
Honestly, we've had so much fun over the years with this stuff and with my old
Oh yeah, it's
podcast
great.
and the stuff that we tried to do at that on location. It was just horrible. I mean, there was kids screaming,
Oh
wind
yeah,
blowing around, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done. Like I'm not, I found out that there's different ways around it, but I'm like, God, that was a great interview too. That kind of sucked, but
yeah. That's all right. We're gonna
this,
do our best to recreate it and make it even better today.
yes, yeah, this has evolved a little differently. So we're gonna go through our typical talk about conspiracy theories, and then I asked Chat GPT to do a bit of a roast.
Oh, outstanding! I can't wait to hear
Yes,
that.
I knew you were gonna love that.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds like a
Yeah.
blast.
Oh my God, there's been some good ones, especially with the guys from Venom Inc. Tony was
Right?
just so happy about it. Uh, More to the point that he asked me to start doing like ex members like Kronos and Mantis and stuff like that.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I did a parody song of his for There's Only Black. It's
Hmm.
There's Only Ranch.
That's
So
greatness.
yeah. So we're doing a bit of a comedy spin into this now too.
Perfect.
I do want to lean on something though with, that we talked about that got kind of screwed up on that last podcast. There
Mhm.
was a Vinnie Paul story that you said that was a bit of a tearjerker, and it was oh God, you said that he got a little choked up about it, or there was some emotion behind it. I want to see if you can recollect
Yeah,
that
if I remember
for
right,
me.
it was being on tour when my dad passed away. And if it's the same thing I'm thinking it is. And man, it was wild. I was the way the whole thing went down. I talked to my dad that morning and he was experiencing, excuse me, some health issues, and they had a home health aide that had gone to visit him to check on him, and said that he had an area in his abdomen that was distended, and that my dad was like refusing to go to the hospital and all this shit. So I had talked to my dad. The whole time I'm trying to talk to this guy, I hear my dad in the background. He was never one to be rude, but he in his own words, I'm not going to any fucking hospital. I was like, all right, look, Dad, here's the deal. We're gonna try to see if we can do this a home remedy way, and if it works, you don't go. If it doesn't work, then you go. Is that a deal? He was like, yeah, I can live with that. And it was also his birthday too. So I was like, happy birthday. He was like, yeah, whatever. And so we get, about 5 minutes before the show that night, I'd been in touch with my family to check on him, and I told the band what was going on, and they were asking how he was doing and everything. 5 minutes before the show, my son calls me and said he's gone, and I was like, shit. So I was like, all right, you know what to do. You know how to handle this stuff. Let me get this show out of the way. I'll call you back. And so Vinny would buy us like Halloween shit, like going into the closer we got to Halloween, he'd buy us all costumes and masks and weird shit. And we'd all wear that shit. So I put a mask on, and because I didn't want anybody to see me, tearing up and all that shit. So I walk to the stage and I'm wearing the mask, and Chad and Vinny are standing next to each other, and Chad looks at me and he's like, "What happened? What's going on?" And I just shook my head no, and Chad goes, "Come here." So I went over to Chad and he gave me a big ass hug, and he's like, "This one's for your dad." And he walks on stage, and then Vinny gave me a hug and he's like, "You got to look at it this way, brother. He's got the best seats in the house right next to Dime watching this show tonight. So let's go fucking tear it up." I was like, right on. So that's exactly what we did. And the show was great, even though I couldn't focus on it for shit. And then when the show was all over and, they do the thing where they, say their good nights, love you audience, all that shit. Um, Chad goes, he quiets the crowd down and he goes, um, tonight is a very difficult night. One of our own lost his father. before the show. Right before the show, he goes, "That's our drum tech, PKing. His dad just left the planet." He goes, "So I want to see the biggest circle pit of the night right now. No
Oh
music, no
yeah.
nothing." And everybody just started going. And I was just like, "Fuck, there's the tribute." So, Dad, that one was for you. That it was just amazing, and you know, it was cool that Vince said the perfect thing to say right at that moment, and I was like, "It's a good way to put it." I just had this vision in my mind of my dad getting to like some heavenly plane, and there's Dimebag, and he's like, my dad would be like, "Heard of you," you know, and then
Oh shit.
Don being like, "Yeah, my brother says P King's your boy," and I was like, "Yeah." I could just hear like the little conversation, and then the clink of the glasses, cheersing. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of afterlife stories that I've come across that are pretty amazing. I have a bunch of them also that I won't dive into right now, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy how something comes across your table and
Mhm.
you're kind of like, oh, dad, wow. I have a ring that's sitting right in front of me. That thing, if I go into something like very monumental in my life, I put
Right.
that on, snap of a finger, everything goes perfect. Be
That's
that for,
badass.
yeah, job interviews, the place I'm at now, like I had that ring on every single time.
That rocks. See, I
Yeah.
get what I get is everybody gets messages. My buddy Scott, he gets a feather out of nowhere, out of thin air, and that comes from one of his friends that passed. Um, for us, it was always, seeing the 333 in the most random of spots, when we were on tour back with Hell Yeah days. And we would just come across it, or you just happen to randomly look at your phone, your watch, and just magically 333. And we're like, all right, pour them up. Cheers. And also, it was dimes. Uh, when I first got started working for Vince, um, I had worked with him. He was producing a comedy show out in Vegas, and when I got the call to see if we wanted to go to Vegas to go do this, I looked back behind this piece of furniture in my house, and I saw something as I was on the phone, just kind of pacing, talking on the phone, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I picked up a card. It was like a three of spades, and I was like, "I'm going," and that would sent me to Vegas. And then the whole time I was there, or anywhere, even during the Hell Yeah days, it was always finding dimes on the ground at the most random time. Not quarters, nickels, pennies. It was always, dimes. And when I get them now, these days, after everything else that's happened, they're like, they come on the days when I'm doubting what direction I'm going or what I've got going on in my head, or if I'm nervous about something. Thin air, no shit. I will look down at the floor right now, not see anything, turn around, boom, dime. And I'm like, got it, heard it, got it, And those are the things that redirect me and get me focused in on what I need to do all the time. It's a trip,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and it's funny because ever since you and I started talking, like right after when Vinny died, uh,
Hmm.
you know, that stuff has come up with me, and I'm like, I reach out to you or send you a photo or some, whatever.
Hmm.
I'd be like, well, damn, you know, that I haven't experienced that before. Why the hell is it happening now?
Oh yeah, it's wild.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, I know we've talked about this on the old podcast, but that initiation of you being with Vinny has to be
Oh yeah.
retold again. I hate to do that to you because you probably said it a billion times, but it's so epic and so like monumental. It literally screams Vinny.
Oh,
And
absolutely,
I
100%.
love it.
Yeah, that whole thing. I don't mind retelling it. It was again. I'm here. I'm at the house, and we were just about to start. We were going to go to Australia, and I was just thinking I was going as Chad's assistant, and I was like, all right, well, here we go. It's another tour. Get my stuff ready to go. Bags are packed, whatever. And I get this phone call from Vince, and he's like, "Hey, man," he goes, "What are you doing right now?" I go, "Just getting my shit together, getting ready to go." He goes, "All right, cool. You up for a challenge?" And I knew immediately what he was talking about. I was like, yeah, you training me, being all cocky and shit. And he goes, yeah, be at the house at 6. I was like, all right, cool. Oh, and I hung up the phone. I remember shaking. My hands were like, what the fuck did I just do? You know, how did I get myself into this shit?
It's like
But
you're
I
a
drove
made man
over.
all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. I drove over to the house, and this other dude that was, kind of he was staying over there as well. Big Handsome. And then Bride Dog, of course, was there as well. So they let me in. Bride Dog lets me in. I come in, and Vinny's in the kitchen. He's like, hey, man, he goes, you see the kits over there set up? I go, yeah. He goes, I want you to go over there and get that kit in your head. But come on here. Let's do a shot and loosen you up, and let's talk for a minute. It's like, all right, cool. So we talked about the gig, what all it entailed. What did he expect? And he's like, all right, now we did a shot. He's like, go get that drum kit in your head. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went and sat behind it, and I'm looking at it, trying to remember every little thing I could in that moment. And he's like, all right, when you think you got it, come back in here. And when you come in, Handsome's going to tear it apart, and you're going to put it back together. I was like, all right, cool. So he did that. Handsome took it all apart. We're sitting there, we're talking. Pours up 2 more shots, knock the shots back. Go in there, I set it up. He comes in and looks at it. He's like, all right, well, not too bad, not too bad. And he's coaching me. He's like, this needs to be closer. This has to be here so I can reach it. This part needs to be tighter. These need to be angled a certain way, all that kind of shit. He goes, all right, now he goes, now that it's right again, I want you to get that in your head again. I'm like, all right, cool. He said, I see it now. I see what you're saying. This has to be, okay, got it. He's like, all right, come back in the kitchen. Let's talk some more about this trip. I was like, all right. So go in there. Handsome tears it apart again. I go back, put it together again. In between all this, I'm doing shots. Then he has me take the kit apart, and we're talking. And somewhere, I've said 5 before. I think it was closer to 7. Somewhere in there, a lot of vodka was drank. And I go back in there and I knock it out the last time, and I get it right. He goes, all right, man, you knocked it out, man. You got it. You got 3 days. We're going to Australia. Let's kill this thing. I'm like, right on. I go, that's great. I go, Vince, I'm fucking hammered. He goes, yeah, I know. I go, why'd you get me drunk? He goes, if you can do this shit when you're drunk, you can goddamn sure do it when you're sober. I was like, that makes sense to me. Sober or drunk, that made sense to me. I was just like, wow. So that's what happened. We get to Australia, and the guy who was filling in after like right before I got there was Mikey B from Lamb of God. Well, Mikey B had to go back to Lamb of God, which is why Vinny called me. Um, Now we did at a festival, and Mikey was on the same festival. So if I had questions or anything, I could ask him, or whatever. And we get through that first festival day, and everything went well. Vince is happy. We get to the next show, and the next show was that was at a thing they had called Soundwave. And then we did a thing called Sidewave, which was like us, Black Label, and somebody else doing these little sideshows in between the big ones. And I remember I get a call from Brad out on the radio. I had Vinny's kit set up down on the floor while BLS was on stage. And he goes, PKing, what's your 20? And I go, I'm out by the van. He goes, I need you inside. Vinny wants to see you. And I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? So I walk in, and Vinny's like, he's down by his kit. And he goes, hey man, who tuned my kit? I go, I did. He goes, bullshit. Who tuned my kit? I said, Vinny, I did. He goes, there's no fucking way. I said, Vinny, I swear to God, I tuned your kit. He goes, all right, motherfucker, how'd you do it? I said, the dimensions of this kit that we're using here are the same as the one that you rehearsed at home. I just recorded your drums at home. He goes, how the fuck do you do that? So with my phone. He goes, you recorded my drums in Texas on the phone,
Damn,
brought that here and tuned this kit? I go, yeah, listen to it. And I played it for him, and he's going through the kit. He goes, he just hands me my phone. He goes, son of a bitch, turned around and walked off. I was like, fuck, am I in trouble? What the fuck just happened? And Brad Dog goes, no, man, he's fucking blown away. He's never seen anybody do that shit. So I was like, cool, right on. It worked. Yeah. And
that's awesome.
it was always shit like that. He would basically give me an obstacle and see if I could clear it. And I just luckily kept clearing obstacles. I'm not saying I didn't fuck up a time or two. I did. And I was lucky having kept the gig after one of them, but he was he was always gracious enough, and he always liked to, challenge me to see what I could pull off, and it kept me interested and kept me coming. It was great. I think I lost your audio or something.
But, all right, there it goes.
There it is.
Holy smokes, man! It was like a fucking Rubik's cube. Jesus. Uh, no, but a friend of mine, Doug, he was a photographer in Wisconsin. That I think it was the Damage Plan days. He told me a dime bag story, and I'm like, man, these two, I can't imagine being their parents. You know, like,
Right.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
Diving underneath a fence in a ravine full of water, almost naked, because the security guy didn't let him in because he forgot his passes when they went to go get booze.
It sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like, holy shit,
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's the funny thing about like growing up here. Like I live in Arlington, Texas, and Pantego and Dalworthington Gardens are just like not fucking 5, 7 minutes from my house. So everything is within reach. And growing up here, you started hearing about Pantera early, and you run into Dime or Vince or whoever from those days at like 7-Eleven or at the grocery store or whatever. And so it was just always kind of like, for me, I don't think the grasp of how big they had gotten at that time really hit because my life went in a different direction. I got married, had kids, and so I kind of put the metal on the shelf for a while, as it were. My ex didn't care for the metal anyway because it's a long story, but but yeah, just the course of life took me in a different direction. And then when I came back around to it, and start running into people from the old days, everybody's got Diamond Vinny stories. Everybody does, and it's always great to hear them because you like hearing you hear enough to know that certain things are exactly happened that way. Everything happened in that weird, crazy shit. And I was always fun to hear, Vinny tell stories about that stuff. To be, hey man, I heard about this one time this happened. He's like, nah, here's what really happened. And he'd give you the background on that kind of shit. It was funny as hell. And it's
that's
still
awesome.
unbelievable. Like you said, to be their parents must have been a fucked up situation to try to navigate that. But at some point, I'm sure once those boys got to a certain spot, they were just like, these, they're onto something. They know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
they're accepting it at that point. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
So, kind of fast forwarding, with Lamb of Garden, Lamb of God and Art Cruz. I like put Art Cruz and Lamb of God together somehow.
Yep.
Um, in comparison, what was that like between Vinnie Paul and Art?
Um, it was cool. Art being a younger guy, and he has mad respect for Vince. Looked up to him as being that he's a drummer. He's got the people that he looked up to when he was coming up, and so I think it was interesting at first because one, I'm going to work for a drummer I'd never worked for before, and then two, um, he's getting a tech that not nothing to do with what I can do or can't do, but just the lineage that Vince gave me by letting me work for him. Um, I think it Art wasn't sure how to take me at first, and then very quickly we hit it right off the bat, and everything was cool. We were just great. It was like we were just like a solid unit working back and forth. It was great, and
That's awesome.
he's he's the. It was weird. Like after Vince passed, there were certain things that I would never have said to a drummer during a show. And there was one time where Art, I could see he was in his head about something that had happened, just a little nuance of a mistake he made, and he was still processing it while he was playing. And I think I reached across to him and I smacked him like in between songs. I smacked him on the back. I was like, "The fuck's your problem?" And he looked at me like, "What the fuck did you say?" I go, "What the fuck's your problem?" He goes, "I just got in my head over that one part." I go, "Well, get out of your fucking head, play the fucking parts. You know all this shit, and go be the drummer you'd want to go see." And he goes, "You're right." He turned around and played the rest of the show perfect. I was just like, but I caught myself in that moment. I was like, "What the fuck did I just do?" I would never have done that to anybody. It was just like a split moment where I was just like, bam, and it came out, and then I was like, bam, oops, oh shit, should not have done that, but it was cool. And I talked to him later about it, and he was like, no, it's what I needed in the moment. Thanks for talking to me. I was like, whoo. I was waiting on that. Oh, you're fired.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's kind of like a manager or CO thing at that point. You just gotta
Yeah.
jump into the trenches and be like, hey man, snap out of it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes
It's,
sense though. I mean, who else would do it?
oh,
You know?
absolutely. And by the same token, I think I've been in the stages where, for whatever reason, I got focused in, like while the show's going, focused in on the wrong thing, just one of those days, focused in on the wrong thing. And I hear him like, he'd turn around and go, hey, and throw a stick towards me. I was like, oh, hey, yeah, sorry, got it. I'm back, you know. So it's kind of that mutual respect thing. And it's worked out
Yeah.
really well. And he's a
Well,
hell
it's
of a
kind of
drummer,
funny.
man. He's great.
Oh, he is. Yeah, yeah. I've seen him a few times. So kind of leaning on that too. What's the most intense or like chaotic show? I hate using that word, but they ever had to tech through like either gear failure or maybe the
Oh,
crowd was a wild thing or tech,
well,
nightmare or something like that.
the nightmare show for me was, well, there's a few. And it was all due to one individual's, I don't want to say incompetence, but I just did. So there it is. We had a Hell Yeah show in Munich, Germany, where myself, Marcus Rafferty, were working on stage, and we're switch. We had just a hell of a day that whole day. They put us in the wrong space parking wise. They were supposed to come get our gear. They didn't do it till late. By the time we got there, I think Kiss had two trucks backed up to the stage. And we're telling the guys, like, dude, we got like 40 minutes. He's like, you got 20. And we're like, I'm deadlifting cases up to Marcus to put up on this stage and get everything up there. We get over there. We're running so far behind. Vince is helping me with the kit. We got everybody's, helping out. And we get on stage and we start to go, like, all right, front of house kid, here's the deal. I start running through drums, and he's like, I don't have this and I don't have that. I'm like, breathe, calm down. We're gonna get through this. Now, and Marcus the whole time he's looking at me, and we only did like 6 songs that day. And we did this for like 30 seconds. Then Marcus looks up and he gives me the 5 mark. I'm like, fuck. So I know the band's gonna start losing their shit because they're cutting songs. So we go through other stuff. We're like, all right, well, Marcus is like, give me the front left side fills. And they're coming out on the stage right, monitors. And he's like, we're like, sorry. I was like, dude, you got to figure this out. And he's still freaking out. Marcus is counting down songs. He gets, I think that whole fiasco, he got down to two. And I saw Vince kind of throw his sticks in the air. And I looked at Marcus. I go, we're not going to make it. Can't even do 2 songs. And he just cuts it. And then the stage manager that was there, the German one, cut it too. And we're like, fuck. So we had to shamingly start pushing all of our stuff off stage. But before we did, some guy came out and said something to the crowd, and however many thousands of people were there were booing us right off stage. And that was one
Oh,
of the bigger
shit.
nightmare gigs. Yeah, and it was just horrible because it was like it wasn't of any fault of mine or Marcus's. It was this other individual that couldn't get his shit straight. So
Well, and the thing is too is that I think I told you before that I work as a stagehand. Uh,
mhm,
there's a real big myth, and overall we're overlooked in the sense of being
right.
behind the scenes, and you know you people don't realize, like, man, there's a tiny moment if something gets, if there's fuck shit going on,
Oh yeah.
we're out there like ants,
Oh
and
yeah.
a lot of the photographers even get pissed off about it. We're like, well, it's either that or you're not going to have an epic shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a photographer that I literally scooted across the stage right in front of them because one of the monitors was literally starting to teeter
Oh
almost
yeah.
off the stage because one of the guys was standing on it, and
Hmm.
they were upset because I bumped into them when they were taking a shot.
Yeah. You're like,
And
well,
I'm
I
like,
just
this
saved you
is
from being
cool.
crushed, so fuck off.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of which, that was at one of my photographer friends almost got crushed by a crowd surfer at a Lamb of God show, full circle.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah,
scary, bro.
it was at the rave. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
it was. I think
Gotcha.
it was pre. I don't think you were working with Lamb of God yet.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I came out in the
quite a
later
while
part
ago.
of 2018. So
Yeah, I think it was 17. I want to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yep.
Wow,
I think
that
it was.
sucks, man. I hate it when people, you know, if something happens and in an accident happens, that's one thing. But if it's an accident that can be avoided, that's and and if it still fucks up after that, it's like that's not cool. That's not good. And but to be down there, if they're in the pit for the say the first three songs as a photographer, they have to realize that don't just like a lot of them will be so involved in the shot that they won't see the other shit happening. But I've also by the same token met a lot of them that they're very situationally aware, and that usually what's end up catching like a good shot they normally wouldn't have gotten. You know, they'll
Exactly.
catch the
Well,
shot of like a guy starting to go over as the thing's coming over, and he gets that shot. So
yes. Yeah, it would have been a great shot of me sliding across the stage to catch a monitor.
right, it
You
would have been
know.
great on video for sure.
Yeah. 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 I don't know if anybody ever got it, but it was wild.
Maybe it's out there
Um,
somewhere. We'll find out.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look. Uh, so if you could give one piece of no BS advice to either drummers or like aspiring techs to try to break into the industry, what would it be?
To break into it, um, be a good fucking person. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be pushy. Don't be shitty. Just come into it with the want and ability to learn and know when you need to eat shit. I'm not telling you to uh, you know, bow down to anybody, and nobody should be an asshole to you. But 90% of the time, nobody will be an asshole unless you're an asshole to them. So, um, take care of if you end up working for an artist, then take care of them and do what the artist wants you to do, not what you think you need to do for the artist, especially in the case of like, say, you're working for a guitar player, let's say, as a guitar tech or a drummer and a drum tech. Don't set your shit up if you are a player. Don't set that shit up the way you would want it or the way you think that they would want it. Set it up the way they tell you to do it every single time. And if you do what's asked of you every single time, then you'll have no problems. Then, if you get to a point where you think you can make a suggestion, do that as a suggestion. Just don't take it upon yourself to throw your knowledge up there because it looks cooler to you or better to you. No, ask. Say, is this cool if you want to do this, or would you prefer I just leave it as is? Whatever. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, the artist will appreciate that. Now, as far as breaking into it, um, the best thing I can tell you is if you get involved. Nobody's gonna. My shit was a fluke the way I came into all of it, but the for the most part, if you get in, work in local gigs, do the local gigs, learn more about the stage, learn as much as you possibly can, and then also watch the other people that are not as good or talk way too fucking much because those are usually the ones that aren't worth the shit and aren't going anywhere. So keep your head down, listen, pay attention, and work for these local gigs. Uh, be on time every time. Take care of your people. Go above and beyond, and then show up every time you can. Show up, show up, show up, show up, and then you'll start building your own reputation as the person that's the go-to guy or the go-to girl, and then you get that going for you, and then you might just end up in a situation somebody's like, man, I really like you, do you tour? And then magic starts to happen,
That's
and that's just the
exactly
way
what
it
happened at the
is.
Shindo show
Hmm.
recently, which is pretty wild because we were doing pyrotechnics and the people around me, younger, way younger than me,
Yeah,
they were just fucking around, beer money basically at that point.
right.
Uh, and the guy, what's funny is the pyrotech that I know, I kind of knew. He's like, "You're the only one working in your crew." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because I came here to, do my job. Kind of like what you said. You show
Yep.
up, do it, and finish everything." And
Hmm.
at the end of it all, I have a new network now. That's the other thing people should understand. Like, if you work hard enough and build your network, you never know. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
kind of like what you said about the tour thing. You know, they do tour,
Yep.
and you know that's a huge dream for a lot of people. You know, and some of it's not not necessarily good sometimes, but uh,
Yeah.
you know, but it's still you just gotta pick and choose wisely. You know,
Yeah. That and be able to navigate if you're able to get on the road, especially as a younger individual, be able to navigate the what to do's and what not to do's of the road. Now, if everybody's, chilling around having drinks or whatever, and you want to have some drinks with them, that's cool. But if you're on the road and you're the only one drinking, and the band's watching, the band's paying attention, just know your role and fucking set the beer down or set the drink down or whatever your proclivity. Just know not to do that because it's gonna fuck your job up. I'm not saying not get out on the road and have a good time. Do that. Just know who you can and who you can't with, and if it's going to impact your job, stop. You know,
100%, 100%.
that's coming from the guy who got who got trained at getting hammered.
Yeah, that's a much different
Like I
situation,
said,
but
the way I got into this is way different than anything else. And
right.
you know, the reason Vince brought me on in the first place is he got to like my work ethic. He was producing a comedy show out in Vegas that I was working with, and he got to know me over that time period in Vegas and got to see my work ethic firsthand. And that's what got them started with whenever I got a call from Brydog and Vinny, and they're like, "Hey, our singer's looking for an assistant. You want to come talk to him?" And I was like, "Sure." So I went and talked to him, and that's how hell yeah I got started. I got started with this Chad's assistant, and then people like I said, you get to meet everybody during those times and those cycles, and word of mouth is great, especially if you're doing things the right way. And then very shortly after um, Vinny passed, I got a phone call from Black Label Society, and they're like, "We know this is soon, but would you be available to come out?" And I was just like, "Sure." It's the best way for me to get through all this shit is just to get back on the road and get to work. So I went to work for Black Label, and that's what got me back out on the road after Vince passed, and that was probably within weeks after he had passed. So that was the way I was able to deal with stuff. Now, and the cool thing was, like getting out there with Black Label, it was also cathartic for me because there was, during In This River, Zach would drop these scrims of
Yes.
dime, and then when I came out, he had one made of Vinny, and so that's how I got used to every night being able to hear his name, see his face, and deal with his passing. And but it was interesting at first because I would this is side stories, but I would get up there and be ready to drop that scrim, and I'd as soon as he starts In This River, I drop that scrim, and I was like, I'm okay, and I look at Jeff like, you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm good, and the crowd would roar like, "Wah," and it was just like, nope, just tears and everything. And he's like, Jeff would be like, he's playing, and he's like, I got you, buddy, and I was like, all right. So then I'd chill out and everything got better and then just kept doing it enough over time that it, didn't
Mhm.
smoke me as much to be like that. So I don't think I did any more of that. I mean, I was during that tour I did, but on the later tours, it didn't bother me as much. And then, where was it? I just lost my train of thought, but it was something to do with that situation. And, it was a strange thing. I know when we did the tribute to Vince tour, the Celebration of Life tour.
Yeah, I love
And
that
Roy,
tour.
yeah, when Roy would be back there playing, I was knelt down beside him behind this little orange cab, kind of trying to hide. But he retrained his brain to play more like Vince for those shows, and that's incredible. But there was times where he played it so well that I would look down for a second, look up, and see Vince and hear him playing.
Oh,
And it was
damn.
just like I was just like, fuck, nope. I gotta shake my head off and get it right and just. But that's how great Roy was playing those songs, and he slayed it, man. But that's how I've gotten through a lot of shit. Is just get back out on the road. Like with my dad dying, it was like I went home for a few days, got back out with the boys, and they're like, "You don't have to do this shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I do," because my dad would kick my ass if I didn't. So let's get on with it. And same thing with Vince. I had the night he died. I came home the next day, had a gig to play in like Abilene, I think, and my buddy that was that playing the gig, he was like, you don't have to be here. I was like, yeah, dude. Vince would kick my ass if I didn't play this gig. So let's do it. Let's get just get through it, and that's just how it has to go.
Yeah, I had something similar, not in the music industry, but my mother passing. I had my
Hmm.
boss going, he's like, "Oh, you don't have to be here." I'm like, "No, I absolutely do." She'd flip out if she knew I was taking days off.
Right?
You
What are
know?
you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh God, she was like a Marge Simpson meets Hitler. It's like she was rough. She was so rough, but she
Uh,
kept me in line. I didn't do anything stupid.
yep. That's good.
Uh, but yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Sometimes it takes that.
yeah. So looking at Black Label Society and then the reemergence of Pantera, did you work on the reemergence too? Or I don't
uh,
remember.
Not for the Pantera side of things. I actually, because it was, when we went out on that tour, it was Pantera, Lamb of God, and uh, when that got started, um, there was still very, very much mixed feelings, and there still is on a lot of that stuff that Vince never let go of, and I was very much Team Vinny, and saw his points, and I
Of
understood where
course,
he was coming from, and so I was very mixed in my head about whenever I heard that they were going to be going out, and then I got this phone call from Randy Bly. He said, "Because hey man, I wanted to talk to you about something, and I have a feeling you already know what I'm going to say." I went, and that's when it registered in my head. They got asked to do the tour, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I get it. What's going on?" And he goes, "Well, me and the guys have talked, and wanted to let you know that if you're not comfortable doing this one, you're more than welcome to sit it out. No harm, no foul. You can come back when it's all over and everything's cool. But we wanted to give you that option." And I thought for a second, and I was like, "Randy, that's probably the coolest thing I've ever heard." The fact that a band would take a tech's thoughts and feelings into that process of going into tour, they shouldn't, I'm just a side effect of them. So the fact that they took that into consideration meant the world to me. And I was just like, you know what, man, not only will I back you guys up 100%, I'll be there 100%. Let's go do this. And he was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, 100%. Let's go." He's like, "All right, I'm glad to hear that." And we went and did the tour, and it was, I knew it was going to be rough, but I'd had a phone call with Grady Champion and another one with Rita, and we they had talked to me. They're like, I know this is going to be rough for you, but we're there. We'll hang. We'll talk through it. We'll drink through it. We'll do whatever, And I don't think there was a night I didn't see Rita that she didn't hand me a shot. So I thought that was great. But I'd be up there. At first I didn't want to really even acknowledge the stage when they were up there. But I love Zach and Phil and his, everybody else, and Grady and the rest of the crew. Abel was, doing drums for Charlie, and Bobby on the other side of the stage. Everything was just great as far as crew goes and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna have to just deal with this shit and get my head around it and have a great tour. I don't want to let my guys down. And so I started going in when they were on stage after I got my stuff packed up. And then it became a thing where I remember one of the first nights, Phil, Zach's dude, he goes, "I want you up there next to me. We're going to watch this show together. You're going to be right there next to me." I was like, "All right, cool." So I go walk in, and Zach saw me, and he's looks over at Phil. They both look back at me, and I'm like, "What?" And they're both smiling. I'm like, "What?" So Phil's like, "Get over here." I was like, "All right." So I go up there to the side of the stage, and I'm standing next to Phil, and I'm watching them play, and they get to walk, and Zach looks back at me, and I'm like, "What?" And he looks back again, and he goes, "Come here." And I was like, Oh no, I am not going out there for this. No, 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 no. And the Phil kind of gives me the shove right there at the chorus. And I go out there and Zach moves to the side and I got on his mic and we did the walk choruses. And went out there for the second chorus. And then after it was all said and done, we, finished up the song. And I left and Zach kind of, a little pat on the back, little nudge, little hit. And then Phil, gave me a big hug, and then I walked over and talked to Grady, and Grady gives me a big hug. Grady gives me a big hug, and I was just like, that was the weirdest thing ever. And Phil goes, "Well, if somebody's got to be up here to represent Vinny, it might as well be you." I was like, "Good point. Good."
Oh man,
I was like,
that's
"Ow,
yeah, no shit. Oh my god,
yeah,
yeah, that means a lot
yeah,
for sure. Holy
yeah."
shit.
They had those
That's
days, and then there's when they would go and do floods, and they were doing like the video montage that Bobby Tongs had made. Um, I'm just watching that and listening to the songs, and part of it was on Cemetery Gates that what they did, and they kind of blended through. And but it was just like uh, watching those videos. I'd be like trying to hide it first because I was like tears rolling down my face. And then I looked over at Grady, and Grady's got tears. Now we're both hugging each other, like we got you, man. We got each other. We're gonna be all right. And not every show would hit like that, but more often than not, they did. But it was worth it and very like I said, it was very therapeutic because I was able to get out a lot of the feelings I had never been able to get out because I just went straight back into touring. So that helped quite a bit. So those having everybody there really, it was a saving grace in a way for me. It was a good acceptance of everything. So that was cool. And Lamb was so damn gracious about the whole thing. I'd come off stage, Randy give me a hug, or Mark would give me a hug, or Art, or Willie or John, and it was great. Everybody's been really supportive of all that stuff, and uh, it's refreshing because not every band would do that, you know. So I've been lucky in that respect. Every band I've worked for, from
100%.
these guys to the time with Baby Metal to the band 10 years to Seether, they're all great, wonderful people. Even on the countryside, Pat Green and his camp, they're phenomenal. My buddy Kerry Freeman and his group that he works with, everybody's been awesome about things. So I am very grateful for all of that. Just so the universe knows.
Oh, 100%. Honestly, I forgot you worked with Mark Humphrey.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
oh, well, you mean John Humphrey?
or John. Why did I say Mark? Yeah, John. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
probably because I just mentioned Mark Morton, but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. He
yeah.
was
He's
on
great.
the podcast. He was on the old podcast. His
Hmm.
vinyl collection's bananas. Like he's
Hmm.
got thousands of records.
Oh, massive vinyl collection,
Oh
and he's
my
always
god,
adding to it.
man.
But it's cool
Yeah,
to be on a day off with them, and I'm like, I'll see him like take off, and like, wonder where he's going, and I know exactly where he's going. He's going down to the vinyl shop and pick out some cool shit, and then later he'd post up showing all the albums he picked up that day, and I'm like, that's just amazing that he's that dedicated to that hobby. That want to collect those vinyls is great.
yeah. I mean, God, I think it was about 3 years ago that I had him on, and we dove into like his vinyl collection, and
Hmm.
I'm just going, I didn't even know there was that much vinyl out there anymore. Like,
Yeah, thank God for the resurgence, or it'd be real difficult.
holy smokes. Yeah, and I actually I got to have him on again because he was a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
great, and I love watching him play too.
oh
He
God,
actually he gave me license when I was working for them to, or permission, I should say, to go ahead and go out there. And he wanted to get some stuff for like socials, things like that. So I was like, "Do you mind if I, or you or the band mind if I go out there and around the kit when you're doing it?" And he was like, "No, by all means, go ahead. They'll be fine with it." So I went out and did that. And then some of the guys were looking at it and they were just like, "Man, these are really cool shots. You think you can grab some of me too?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So I'd get some more of them and then send them to them after the show. And it was cool. Everybody was just super gracious. And, you know, I really enjoyed working with that camp, still do. Uh, if I'm available at different times and if I get that call, I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd love to. It's the same way with, any of the guys. If it's the guys in 10 years, they're always great. And I always love running into them. I just saw them
yeah,
back at Welcome to Rockville. and that was cool too.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just super cool to be um, in and around people that are like, um, we'd love to have you out, but if you're not available, come and hang out when you can. I'm like, oh, cool, right on, we'll do. And I've been to a few shows where I felt like I should be working. You know, that always feels weird.
Right.
But or I'll
Yeah.
see something go down on stage, and I'll run. I'm halfway across the stage before I realize I'm not working.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had that being like against the rail or something. I see maybe a teetering or something, or a light wasn't working, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god! And I'm like, wait a minute, I paid for the ticket. What am I doing? You
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I know
Yeah.
I've done that. I think I did that one night watching Nonpoint, and I went out. I did it with King as
Nice.
well. Went out and saw a cymbal start to go, or it was a little wonky, or went out, just went out real quick and fixed it, only to have like Rob would look at me or Pepe would look at me like, "What the fuck are you
I was
doing
gonna
here?" I was
say
like, "Oh
I
yeah,
can
sorry, gotta go."
imagine Rob just being going, you
Yeah,
know,
I was looking at him one
he
day because we
cracks me
used
the
to
hell
fuck
up.
with each other. Oh, we used to fuck with each other all the time, and like especially like last shows. Last shows somebody's going to do something fucked off. So I started to go out there while he was playing, and while he's playing, he takes one hand and starts undoing a cymbal. I'm like, "What is he doing?" And he takes it off to go to hand it to me because he thinks I'm going to take it anyway. I'm like, "No, no, 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 no! Keep going, keep going." So
That's
it
awesome.
was a blast.
Uh, so now that we kind of like dove into a lot of that, I brought it up to you earlier,
Yeah,
the conspiracy theories. And I know we had a
yeah.
little discussion about some stuff, but what's your take on them? But also, what's one of the conspiracy theories that kind of sticks in your head?
Well, the conspiracy theories that amaze me, the ones that have been justified, where everybody was like, for the longest time, people are going to sound like, wackos or nutty or whatever and all that stuff. And I thought the main one about UFOs and shit, that everybody for the longest time, oh, there's nothing out there. There's blah, blah, blah. I was like, are you that arrogant to think that we're the one point of life in this vast universe? I mean, there's galaxies that we've never heard of. They're finding new shit all the time, but you're gonna say that we're the little rock that has life on it. I call bullshit, you know. And now, granted, where it has been proven that stuff does exist, it's funny to me that now it's like, well, the government's like, yeah, yeah, it's out there. It is what it is, you know. And but I wonder how much of the certain conspiracy theories are people agreeing to it now, saying it's real, almost to flip the side of things, going, well, they're just full of shit, but let's tell them it's true. Not the UFO thing, but I'm talking about like any other weird shit. I'm trying to think of one I've heard recently. Um, I really can't think of one offhand um, that sticks out. What would you say is something that you've heard more of recently? A conspiracy
The
theory was.
the one that really irritates the hell out of me is the one that they look at celebrities and their eyes are all wonky, and they're wondering if that's a doppelganger or like some weird shit AI stuff, or
Or the
God knows what the hell it is.
lizard people,
You know? Yeah, yeah. I'm like, God, whatever. Like,
reptilians
what's
and
her
shit.
name? Yeah, Katy Perry was one of them,
Oh, I saw
and
where
I'm
the
like,
eye twitch thing.
yeah. I'm like, all right, so what? She has a twitch. I'm like, just relax, you know.
Yeah, I do get a
But
kick out of the glitch in the matrix shit that people will say. Oh, it's a glitch in the matrix. Well, maybe you're just fucked up.
I
Maybe you're seeing shit that ain't there, man. Who knows?
I say that about the dating pool. There's a glitch there somewhere.
Oh, there's definitely a glitch in it. I mean, I've been in the same situation for a long time, but I can't imagine if I was not and tried to start like just actively dating, I'd probably just be alone and single. Because I've seen some weird
Hi,
fuckers out
I'm
there, man.
Al.
Yeah, dude. Some of my friends that have, gotten to that stage of life where they're out and they're dating again after whatever happened in their life, and one of one of my really good friends, he just could never figure out. He was like, I don't know why I keep meeting all these fucking weird ass women. I go, well, you're you for one thing. He goes, what is that supposed to mean? I go, you're kind of an asshole. He goes, well, no, I know that, but why is it the women always fucked up? It's like, well, you also make shitty choices.
Yeah,
So
life decisions. Oh my
yeah,
god.
life decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
it's weird. I've just some of the people, some of my friends that are like I said out, and they seem. I've known them long enough that I can't really say like it's you or something like that. No, they were generally decent people, and then they would hook up with somebody who seemed decent at first, and then just go right off the fucking rails. And I'm like, okay, that's a if you can't see these red flags, you're fucked. I mean, that's no, there's no way.
it's the Katy Perry eye flutter,
It's
you
the
know?
eye flutter. That's what does it. The
Yeah.
same thing that draws you in is the same thing that rejects you.
Right.
That old Katy
Yeah, I'm
Perry
not gonna.
wonky eye, boy. Woof, let me tell you.
Yeah, the rest of it's great, but what's with the eye?
Yeah,
Like,
get an eye
uh,
patch. Problem solved.
right, right. Oh my god. Uh, oh, I have so much more to say about that. We're not going to go into that though. Uh,
Right on.
uh, oh, you know what? We'll talk about it off here. Never mind. Uh, so jumping into this next part is Grok and ChatGPT wrote a roast about you.
Oh, I can't wait. Hang on. While we're talking about that, I got to do something beforehand because I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. So before I do, let me see. Where is it?
Oh, I hope to God you're pulling out the car. Oh,
There
what
we
is
go.
that?
This is some form of whiskey with a skull in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I
Nice.
figured if I got to go into a roast, I might as well have a shot. And because I don't feel like getting up and going getting the shot glass, I'm just going to get a pour off the bottle. So
I was just gonna
forgive me.
say, get your pull. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Right on. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
This.
Before we start that, I wanted to talk about the coffee too. How did you get
Oh
into
yeah.
that whole thing?
Right. The coffee happened years and years ago. We did a tour. Hell yeah, did a tour, and uh, Adrenaline Mob was on it. And one of the guys that was working with Adrenaline Mob is a dude named Jeff, and Jeff and I got to be friends on that tour. And Jeff ended up working with a company called Rocked, and it's ROCK apostrophe D. So Rocked originally they had done like liquor and stuff like that, and they were wanted to do a wrap on the Hell Yeah bus for us. And but certain states, I think Florida, maybe Georgia, I can't remember, were not cool with having big advertisements for liquor, so we couldn't do it on the bus. And then, but they brought us out stuff, and we tried their stuff and liked it. Everything was cool. Well, then they switched because of the certain states and shipping and everything else. It was just became, I think, a bit of a hassle back then. They transferred over into the coffee industry, and still being friends with Jeff, and we'd stay in touch and all that stuff. Um, the Rocked Coffee brand was taken off, and they were signing different bands to work with them on that. Putting out their own brand of coffee and stuff. And it was a way for the brand to make money, but also for the band to make money. Um, to maybe a little something something to help with bus problems or something to help with some other part of touring. Some extra money, so to speak. And they're signing different people onto it, and they wanted to know, hit me up and said, "You think Hell Yeah, I'd be interested?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I'll check it out." So I went and asked the guys in the band, and they thought about it. Then they didn't get back to me, and I was busy on tour at the time. And then since they didn't bite at the time, I think the next time he asked me about talking with them, they were being uh, talked to by some of the other companies like Death Wish and whatnot, and so they didn't bite on the rock thing. So one day I'm having a conversation with Jeff, just checking in, see how things are going, and he's like, I asked him about the coffee, how all that's going, and he goes, "Yeah, man. So since the guys didn't bite, I'm really sorry that didn't work out. It'd have been cool to have him on there. If you know of anybody else you think might be interested, give me a holler." And I said, "Well, I know somebody." He goes, "Who?" I said, "Me." He goes, intrigued. What do you got? And I said, I want to do something for the roadies because the unsung heroes of the industry, so to speak. I want to do something for the road dogs, and it's got to be. He goes, I take it it's going to be a dark roast. I was like, yeah, and he sends me out a whole bunch of different coffees to try, and I tried them all independently. I'm like, they're all right, but what I'm looking for, there was a certain flavor I was looking for, and I also didn't want a dark roast that was going to end bitter. And I thought about the places I had been and the regions I had been in, and I blended three of them together and came up with this idea of it. And while I was actually out with on the baby metal side of things, uh, we were in California, and my girl had shipped me the bag that showed up from Rocked. I'm like, cool. So I'm in this really nice place, and I figured they got to have a coffee, like a little uh, thing to crush up beans and shit, and get all that set up. Nothing, not a blender, nothing. I was like, fuck, what can I use to do this? What can I crush these with? And I saw this big round bottle of vodka, and I took two handfuls of coffee beans and threw them in like a plastic Kroger bag, and took the bottle and busted them up as much as I could, and then I rolled them
Holy
over
shit.
with the vodka bottle and busted it, rolled it, busted it, rolled it, got it down to where I figured it would brew, brewed it, and when I first tasted, I went, "That's the one. That's it." And that's the blend I put out. And they were like, we need a mission statement. I was like, give me 5 minutes. So I got my phone and just typed up this mission statement, sent it back to them. They're like, perfect. What color you want the bag? And I was just kind of stared at the camera, and I was like, really? They're like, oh, black. Okay, cool. So we did that. Then I had a picture I had taken a long time ago of some sticks I had shredded for Vince, just at his house, and I'd use it for like um, what do you call it? Like Valentine's Day. I was like, here's a different, bouquet of flowers for you. And then when I put it on the label, I just made sure to take off nothing that tied it to Vince, nothing that, said anything like the estate had anything to do with it or an endorsement, nothing like that. And came up with a logo for it and sent it back to them. They printed it up, sent me the first bag, and I'm like, this is just fucking cool. And the coffee's good. And then I started advertising it, and then people started buying it. Now the cool thing was, when COVID hit, um, I knew that like the money I was getting in off of that, I was like, I also had a side business with like a merchandise thing that I was doing with another company that I had, and I was like, I'm making enough money off of this that something needs to go to something better. So during the pandemic, when everything was going on, I was like, people's parents aren't going to be able to pay for music lessons for kids. So I donated the checks that would come into music schools to help pay for the lessons because I wanted these kids to be able to still play
Oh,
and get
damn.
lessons. Be it online or whatever, I still want them to have that opportunity. So during that time, I set that up that way. And when the pandemic was over, um, I had various irons in the fire business wise to do other things. And then the coffee kind of kept going, and it was still going good. And I was like, this is nice to have. So I still have the coffee, which is it's a I'll have to send you that link again so you could post it up with this stuff and check it out. And then recently I am going to have to get up because there's something I wanted to show you. You'll like this. Hang on. Be right back.
Sounds good. Yep.
So again, being in the right place at the right time and talking to different people. Um, I was talking with a company out of Canada. They're an award-winning hot sauce brand, and their
Oh my
stuff's been on
god.
like, yeah, their stuff's been on Hot Ones and all that shit. So we were talking about doing a collaboration, and they sent me again the same thing. I need a mission statement or at least a portion of something to put on there by you. I'm like, all right, cool. And sure enough, look at this shit.
Oh my god.
So that's the
Oh.
samples that they sent me, and I've had some various people try
Oh.
them, and they love that shit. So I have to send one of these to you, and
Yes. Oh
you
my
have to give me
god.
an honest opinion. Tell me what you think about it. But yeah, that's PKing's Road Dog. And it's
So
just like I said, it's being like goes back to what you're saying about getting into the business and shit. And then once you're in it, as long as you stay cool, you're not fake and you're not full of shit, and you're just be good to people, man. That's it. You know, good things will come your
100%.
way. And this thing was just a wild idea that turned into reality. And same thing with the coffee. And it's been cool to see it. And the kick for me was just seeing it for real, like seeing it really happen. And I'm like, well, that gives me multitudes of ideas of things to do just to see it come to reality. And if somebody else gets it and they like it and they dig it, cool. And if the people that don't dig it, that's cool too. At least you tried it and you now know something you don't like, you know? So
100%.
I will say that most of the stuff like the coffee and the hot sauce I've gotten good reviews from for the most part. And I'm very thrilled about that. Now, also that the coffee thing, back on the coffee, certain company I mentioned earlier had called me uh, and asked me how did I make it a dark roast finish as smooth as this one did. And my response was, I love your brand, but I can't tell you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you can't give the
So,
secret
but
out.
they
So
were very sweet and they were very professional about it, and I graciously thank them for their inquisitive nature.
that's funny because I delve into I have a culinary background, so I delve into the
Mhm.
hot sauce game, and I've done it for about 10 years.
Right on.
Um, so I do have one that I'm toying with, and I'm going to start kind of doing it again, which
Right on.
I might bother you for that same thing. We'll pass one back and forth.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I'd love that.
yeah, yeah, and then also we're coming out with a line of THC drinks too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they're called intrusive
If me
thoughts,
and we
just so
got
you
along,
know.
I'd do it.
Yeah, yeah. They're called intrusive thoughts, and they have a custom thought bubble next to the skull.
Oh, I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, just keep an eye out. I'll make sure I'll send you something.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Even though, like I said, I'm not a smoker. Everything has like a, except for booze, has the opposite effect on me. But
yeah, of course.
but if in small doses, I will be willing to
Yeah,
try.
right. Well, and the flip side, we also have an IPA coming out with the same company. So
Right on.
yeah, which that might be more your style too. We have a Kentucky bourbon ale also.
You got me right there. Yep.
All right, cool, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
I'm
hoping
in. I'm
so. I
in
mean,
for that race.
we have a line coming out. So,
That's gonna be
the
great. And
yeah, the
congratulations on that,
graphics.
buddy.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a long time coming, and with the new podcast and the branding is definitely helping. But I'm excited
Fantastic.
about that damn hot sauce, man. Holy
Yeah,
swell!
I
So
can't
I
wait for
saw
you to
that, I'm
try
like,
it.
oh my god, yeah,
Yeah. No, it was funny that you mentioned the bourbon drink.
yeah,
When I was talking to the guys, they said, "Well, what do you want it to be like?" And I know they make some fantastic hot sauces. And the company that makes this stuff is called Ginger Goat out of uh, out of Canada. And like I said, I've tried others. They brought me samples of other stuff, and their stuff is fantastic. So when he mentioned doing this, I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And he was like, so, what tastes do you want in it? What flavors are you looking for? And I said, well, the first two things that came to mind, I was like, whiskey, bacon. And I was like, what's
oh
beyond
yeah,
whiskey? Okay. But he asked about, like the what do you call it? Scoville rating or the
yeah, the
whatever
Scoville,
they
yep,
yeah, Scoville. He goes, how hot do you want it? I said, well, let me tell it to you like this. If I'm at home and I've got the choices of all the fucking hot sauces in the world, around me, I'm going to eat something that I want to enjoy. I want it to have some heat, but I don't want it to like, burn the next day, as it say, you know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to enjoy my meal with it. So I need it to be tabletop friendly,
yeah,
akin to say like a Cholula would be, or, something like that. To whereas, you want to reach for it and not be like, I don't know if I should try this. So the flavor came out better than I expected it to. Um, Of course, the whiskey burns off in the process, but you still got the tinge of flavor to it, like the oak barrel stuff. And then the rest of the stuff that comes in here to make it is just incredible, and it's doable for people who just like general hot sauce. Like, let's say you go to a restaurant and there's a Louisiana hot sauce on the table, or somebody else's brand. It's tabletop friendly, so it's not gonna you're not gonna hate yourself for trying it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
now I have a story
Yeah.
that goes along with that as well. Real quick, like the
Yeah.
years ago, me and Marcus Rafferty were at a in like, where were we? Uh, Cedar Rapids, Cedar, whatever it is. I was in Iowa somewhere. But we were at a Quaker Steak and Lube, and Marcus had ordered these wings because he liked hot wings and he liked to dip, into hot sauce and stuff. And they had these things there called lube tubes, and we drank uh, like two of those at the time, and pretty good and toasty. And then I'm looking at him as a happy drunk, and I'm looking at him very lightly dipping into this atomic sauce that he had. I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Just fucking eat it." And I was like hammered, so I took this like a drumstick, dipped it down in there, threw it in my mouth, do it, and he just sits back cocky, like, "Okay, fucker, let's see what happens." And he's like, "How you doing?" I was like, It's some heat. It's a little hot." Yeah, he goes, "You're sweating." I go, "Yeah, it's a little warm in here." And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I spent the next 20 minutes in the bathroom, leaned over the sink, tears, hating my life. And I was just like, "What?" And I see the door open, and I just hear him go, "Bet you went over there to that again." I was like, "God damn it, man." It was
Oh my
horrid.
God. Yeah.
Oh, tears and stuff.
I had as a gift to me was Da Bomb,
Ah,
that,
there you
that
go.
little model. Yeah.
Yep.
And I had this dude that uh looked like a trailer park Sully
Oh, shit.
mower, right? And
Right.
he's just like, I can do anything. I was from Louisiana. I can do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, all right. He's like, I'll take that piece, and he just dumped it on there. And it's
Oh,
coming out in
man.
chunks,
Oh.
chunks. Like it
Oh,
just,
God.
and he just eats it. And he's got a bandana on, just like Sully. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
just relax on the Sully look. You're nowhere near him. You're driving a rusted out freaking pickup truck. You're not Sully. Oh,
Right.
uh, he's like Sully earnless. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and he just like looked at me, and it looked like somebody pepper sprayed him. Like
Oh,
his
yeah.
eyes started lighting up, and it was just tears and sweat coming down. And I'm like, "What's wrong, man?" He's like, "Oh no, this is good." I'm like, "Bullshit, bullshit. You want some yogurt? You want some bread? What's up?"
Oh, my God.
He's like, "Give me some water." I'm like, "No, that's not what you
No,
need."
that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, and he just kept on doing it, and I'm like, "All right, I'll see you later.
Dude.
You're not using my bathroom." You know?
That would have been terrible. There's not
No,
enough
no,
candles. Yeah,
no. Go shit in my garbage can. Just get out of here.
exactly. Fuck that noise.
Oof.
No.
Yeah.
I've always hated
Oh,
that and found myself in situations. The only time I got away with something like that was I forgot where we were. Somebody for after show food had ordered, like the usual after show pizzas, but this one that they gave us was had ghost peppers on it. So, or Carolina Reapers or something. And
oof.
so I knew what I was getting into, and that we had enough pieces for everybody in the front lounge to have one. And the challenge was to just finish the one piece. So as everybody's talking and shit, I'm slowly backing towards the fridge, reached in, grabbed a carton of half and half, and just held it behind me. And as we're taking these bites, everybody turns around, I was take a swig, and just kept going. It's like, "How the fuck are you eating that?" I go, "It's not that bad, really." They're like, "Fuck me, man, this sucks." And everybody's like, breathing. And then somebody saw the carton, they're like, "You motherfucker." I'm like, "Yep, got you. Sorry, sorry.
Oh
I
my
failed. I
god.
failed."
Oh
But that
shit.
half
These
and
are
half
better than
did the
tour
trick.
stories. Holy shit.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Oh
good times.
god. Uh, hold on a minute.
And you don't know touring until somebody else hands you their hot bag when you're not paying attention. So,
Right. Oh,
For those that don't know what a hot bag is, ask somebody. They will
yeah,
happily
it's
tell you what a hot bag is.
it's not street chips.
No,
Oh
I
God.
would definitely not eat out of that chip bag. No. Oh god damn.
Oh, we'll post the definition on this podcast.
That's right. Things we learned today. Hot
Yes.
bagging.
Oh my God.
I did have a buddy of mine once that had a situation occur to where the bus driver that he was out with would not stop the bus, and he's like, dude, you please, you got to pull over, you got to pull over. He's like, no, it's only like 15 miles to the next, whatever. He's like, dude, you got to pull over now. And he wouldn't do it. So my buddy runs to the back. The only thing he could find was somebody, had gotten like a case of beer or 12-pack of beer or whatever, and all the beers were gone out of it. So he used the box, thinking that he had a willing receptacle, not thinking that if you've ever carried one of those, A, those seams don't hold well. B, there's holes in the corner of the box. So he does this and then has to try to go, fuck, man, now this whole thing smells like shit. I'm on tour with a bunch of chicks and this is embarrassing. Then he has to go through the bus to get it to where he can throw it out of the front door. And not even realizing at the time that everything in there is slowly coming out down the bunk alley and down the front, the front lounge. And the bus driver lost his mind on him, and he's like, "I told you to stop."
I I had an interview with I'm not gonna say the band name, but
Right?
the bass player ended up leaving halfway through the interview. Walked
Wow.
walked into the gas station, and I was talking to the singer and guitar player, and I might still have a video on this as evidence, you know.
Mhm.
But he ended up walking out, and he comes back, and he's got a different pair of shorts on, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?" And he's like, "I can't tell you. You're recording still." And I'm like, "Absolutely
Well,
not. You're
yeah.
gonna tell it. I'll just cut it out." And he literally shit himself during the interview because I don't know what he ate or if he had a stomach problem, but he shit himself, walked out into the gas station, asked the cashier for a bag,
Wow.
bought shorts at the gas station just by chance they had shorts there.
Right.
Walked out with these like boxer looking stupid ass shorts on. Like, just
Yeah.
thank God they had shorts there, you know, and
Yeah.
it's
No
like
kidding. He'd have been fucked.
Wisconsin, like yeah, it was like the Wisconsin Badgers shorts,
Oh yeah.
which
You
is
take what you can get
great.
in that instance. I mean, it
Oh
sure
my
beats
God.
trying to wrap your shirt around you or some stupid shit. Oh my
Yeah, he's
god.
taking paper towels and making like a burqa or not a burqa, but like a little fucking diaper out of it. Yeah.
He made it a pins out of paper towels.
Oh
It's
God.
amazing.
It depends if it
Now,
worked.
now that being said, and the fact that we are doing a podcast, as and I'm walking to the fridge to get another beer because why not? Um, I
Right.
did a I did a podcast that was kind of like it was akin to like a Zoom meeting because there was so many people there during this thing,
Jesus.
and it gets we're all drinking on it, and everybody's talking, and I'm probably drinking a little bit more than everybody else was, and I decided that, oh shit, just in the middle of talking and I'm recording, I'm carrying my phone with me, and I just went in the bathroom and sat down, and I'm like, I've take care of business and everything, and finish up, wash the hands, go back out. I'm carrying the phone as I'm talking, and four of the guys go, "Hold up, did you just take a shit while we were recording?" I was like, "Yeah, I sure did." And I was like, I thought about that today as a way to start this thing. I was going to start it not actually taking a shit, but from the standpoint of being on the shitter and being like,
That would
oh,
be
excuse me
awesome.
for a second. And then it just goes to the ceiling like this. And then you just hear the flush. And you're like, fuck, dude, come on, really?
I would have loved it. I would have loved it because I
Well,
mean,
that'll be
like I
the
said,
next one.
that's a
If you
wild
guys,
take.
yeah, whoever's watching this, hold me to it. And the next time I do one with him, that's how we're starting it. So
Yes,
we'll make good on this promise.
it'll be flush two instead of part two. Yeah.
Yes, yes. This
Oh
is
my
this is
God.
around the bowl and down the hole with PKing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Paint the bowl, wash it away.
That's
You know,
that's right.
right? So, I mean, honestly, I think these ChatGPT roasts pale in comparison to what we just talked about. Uh, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna do it anyways. This is
It's funny
awesome.
if you did one later on and it came back. This man talked about taking a shit while doing a podcast.
Right. Oh my God. No, I'll just write that roast myself.
There
Um,
you go. There you go.
it says, Peking, proof that you don't need to play drums to live the rock star life. You just need to be the guy who fixes their mistakes before anyone notices. That one's kind of, I like that.
That's just more of a truth.
I was gonna say that's an accolade. That's like
Yeah,
a,
I
a
might put that as
badge,
my bio.
right? It says, he doesn't chase fame. Fame just hands him broken drum hardware at 2 a.m. and says, "Fix this shit."
Also true.
Yeah. It says Vinny taught him everything except how to say no to another tour.
Also true. Oh my God.
Yeah. It says, PKing, on a scale of 1, I quit. How bad was your first day teching for Vinnie Paul when he realized you weren't ready yet? Which we already talked about.
Oh,
Oh
talk
God.
about being scared shitless, not to bring shit back into it. But
Oh
dude,
my God.
the very first fuck up that I had with Vince um was doing Japan and me realizing the differences in voltage that I previously didn't know or think to ask. Um and I had a piece of gear, this old ass fucking drum brain that he used, and it kept going in and out, but it sounded like it was a power issue. So I kept like trying to move the cord, and it sounded like it would get better, and then it would cut out again. And that was the only time that I ever really, well, that and a New Year's Eve gig, thanks to that same front of house dipshit. Uh, Aside from those two, those were the only times I think I ever really pissed him off. But yeah, that first one was hard to get over. Believe me, that was terrible because I was like, I'm not ready.
Oh my God. It says while everyone else is taking mirror selfies in the terminal, P King is photographing his airport drink like it's album artwork.
Tell me it's not. Come on, man. I take good drink pictures, man.
Oh,
Hey,
you do? Yeah. I
that's
mean,
fucking
that's,
hilarious, though. I love that.
yeah.
I do. I was like, oh, let me tweak it. Let me make it nice. Let me, little
Right.
focus in on this. Now I'm gonna look
Oh,
back on
that's
that many
funny.
years from now and just like see all those different pictures of different drinks and being like, yeah, okay, that's kind of fucking ridiculous.
it says airport coffee, $11 for regret. And then it says Peking 3 oh God, help me.
333.
3 yes. Oh God. That was tough. Road Dog Blend. It says 21.99 for salvation. Choose wisely, heathens. That's like an ad.
Amen, dude. I need to, yeah, write that one down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
That's
to send that to you.
amazing.
That's awesome. Uh,
Hell yeah.
it says Peking after 20 years of teching, I've had worse coffee in better airports. So he made his own dark, bold, road approved. The Road Dog Blend hits harder than a breakdown in a small club.
Dude, they're fucking writing this shit for
I
me. I love it.
I
It's awesome.
fucking that's amazing. We'll have to do the hot sauce ones next. Uh
It'll make you shit.
oh Jesus. Yeah. It's number one and a number two business.
Hey, there you go. I like that one.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, they didn't want to they were being very respectful to you. Like these things are
Yeah,
nothing like what I've put out. And I just think it's hilarious.
I love
It
that. They're like an ad company for my stuff.
Yeah, and it even asked it said you've teched for absolute legends. What's the most unhinged rider demands?
Wow. Shit. Let me think about that for a second. Unhinged rider demands. I haven't really seen any. Um, Aside from like asking for limes in fucking Europe because they just will bring you lemons. But Yeah, I don't think we've never had anything unhinged. I will say this though, we did, we finished up a tour in Europe, and this isn't so much of rider, but it pertains to like our bus rider. So it's not shows, it's just bus related. And this dude, this little German driver dude, he was not too fond of us anyway, just because we were, to tell you, he wasn't expecting us. He's expecting the way the new bands were coming out and everybody's just kind of quiet. Maybe they have their beers and they, reminisce about their whatever, crocheting or something. And then there's Hell Yeah. And we were like the last of the old guard. We're gonna be loud, we're gonna be
Yeah.
raucous, we're gonna break some shit. And usually each other. We used to have a thing called bunk alley football we would play, and it's brutal as shit. And you're gonna break a bone or two, so you better learn how to reset some fingers. Um, but so we're in leaving this tour, we get to the airport. As we're getting off, we hear the driver talk to another bus driver that's shown up because they were friends. And he's like, "Who are you here to pick up?" And the guy goes, "Oh, some American band. I hear they drink a lot." And our driver goes, "Not more than my guys. It is not possible." I
That's
mean,
awesome.
the first night he picked us up, we had what we called the upstairs refrigerator, which we referred to as ye old beer warmer. And he was like, "Oh, there's beer in the fridge upstairs." I was like, "Yeah, we know. We need to stop and get more." He goes, "But it's full. We need more." And he's like, "Well, I don't have time to stop at services." "Oh, you're going to stop at services." And we
Oh my
bought
God.
pretty much all the beer they had in that services and threw it into the bus. I mean, it was back then, shit was weird. It was before everybody was getting sober. Um, which, God bless them, the ones that do, and I'm happy for them. I think that's great. But there's still that part of me that misses that. Um, so much so that now, um, and this is no bullshit. There's a bottle of Jack on the rider for Lamb, and nobody drinks it. The band doesn't drink it, so that's kind of my bottle of Jack. So
Jesus.
me and the crew guys, the ones that do partake, we will enjoy that bottle and enjoy it to the fullest because there's another one coming the next day. Not saying that I'm an alcoholic. I just appreciate a good drink or
Yes.
a good
Oh my
shot,
God.
good series of shots. But
Hey,
I
you
will say
know,
this on that note, I have never, not once, has booze ever fucked up a gig that I'm doing. As far as I'm concerned, it's never been a problem for me. And I think that comes from that first days of working with Hell Yeah,
yeah.
because it was a way of life back then. And from the day Vinnie trained me, you got to know your shit. I don't give a fuck how fucked up you are or how drunk you got or hung over the night before. When you show up on that stage every day, do your fucking gig. And that I still have mad respect for that. So I've never been in that position to uh, be fucked up enough to fuck up a gig. Save one thing, and this was an accident on my part. And it's the first day of tour with Lamb of God. We're in Coney Island, New York. And back in the green room area, there's one common area that has like on this, it looks like a big kitchen, with an island in it and shit. And up on there, there's like saltwater taffy. There's old games that they used to have, like remember the little game where it was like a gyroscope that would go up and come back like this. And then they had like the little boards you'd try to flip the ball over with the string on it to get it in these holes. They had that kind of shit there. And it was just a cool vibe, cool place. And off to the side was this fucking platter, like a silver platter that had busted up dark chocolate on it. And I like dark chocolate. So I reach over, grab some, throw it in my mouth. Second piece goes down. As that one's going down, my buddy goes, "That's cannabis." I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
son of a
shit."
bitch.
Yeah. And I was like, how bad could it be? This is like at 5 o'clock in the evening. And I'm like, okay, showtime's at 9:30, 9, something like that. I'll be fine. And then about 6:30, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm feeling this. I can deal with this. It's fine. So I go down to catering, and as I'm walking down to catering, it's getting worse. It's getting higher and higher. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm sitting at the table, and feels like every moment is going, and I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to the table, even though I'm not. I'm like, oh my god, I got to get the fuck out of here. So I go out to the bus and I'm talking to one of my cohorts on the bus. I'm like, I just want him to see me. So he like talks me off this ledge. And he goes, he told me the next day, he goes, yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell you, but you had no blood in your face. You were sweating profusely from the top of your head. I go,
What
oh
the
my God.
fuck?
Yeah. So I tried to go lay down. That wasn't a good idea either. I get get down, go to get out of my bunk, and I go outside and trying to breathe through the moments and just hoping it ends. And I go walk into the stage, and my stage right dude, Carlos, looks at me. He said, man, you don't look too good. I go, dude, I think I'm having like a panic attack because I was embarrassed. I didn't want to say anything. He's like, I think I'm having a panic attack. And he sounds kind of like Tommy Chong when he's talking sometimes. He goes, oh, man, I hate when that happens, man. That shit's bad, man. And I was like, fuck, you're not
What the
helping.
fuck?
And then, like out of nowhere, about 8:30, Art shows up, comes up behind me, goes, he like grabs me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm fucking freaking out. I think I'm having a panic attack. I don't know what's going to happen." He goes, "What happened?" I go, everything was fine. I was down in catering and I had, or by not in the catering, I said in the green room and I had those busted up chocolates that were down there. He goes, and I was like, stop laughing, you're making it worse. He goes, look, man, you're starting to freak out because you're starting to come down. You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. He goes, and we used to run the intros off this little iPad. He goes, I'll take care of everything else up there. Can you just run the intros? And I'm like, sure, I can do that. And so before the show even starts, I got the iPad back there and I'm like just staring at it, like, I got this, I can do it. And he's laughing at me. It's still funny as hell. But he gets up and he's ready to do that. And then Randy comes back around there to back behind the riser. He goes, look, we all know what happened. We know this isn't you. You know, you're not into that shit. It's not your thing. So you're safe. None of us are mad at you. He goes, but we're gonna get through this. And he goes, if I'm out there and I'm mid scream, mid chorus, whatever, you give me that look, and I'll be right back here. I'm gonna give you a hug, and we're gonna get through this. All right? I was like, okay, cool, great, that's fine. You know. And about midway through the show, I start coming down, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And just embarrassing as hell. And I can't remember if it was that night or the next night, but all the time before the song 512, um, Randy would always say stuff about like, you know, this song is about some time I spent in a gated community overseas. I don't recommend the accommodations. And then he'd say like, this song is 5-1 in the audience 2, you know, like that. But that night, like I said, I can't remember if it was that night or the next one. He just goes, he's introducing that song, and you know, and he goes, in this song tonight, goes out to our drum tech, PKing, who got blasted off an edible and really fucked him up. And I was like, what the fuck? And he goes, gotcha, bitch. And I was like, ah. He
Oh my
outed me
god.
to, yeah, he outed my bad edible experience to the crowd. So, like
Why
I
not?
said, yeah, why not? It's funny as shit now, and it was embarrassing
Yeah.
then, but you know, I
Oh my
had it coming.
god.
It was funny. It was funny. But yeah, like I said, me and other things, it has opposite effects on me than it does for the people who really enjoy it. So uh yeah, it's
So it's
that was my one fucked off experience where I could have fucked up a show being screwed up, but yeah, that was it.
oh my god, man. That's that's gonna be I'm definitely sending IPAs to you.
Yeah, I'll try them
Yeah.
from the privacy of my home.
Yeah. Not the
Not
THCs.
the
We'll
THC
do
ones.
the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we'll just do the regular you know, the bourbon, the barrel
There
aged.
you go. That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Oh my god, man. That was
Yeah.
honestly, I'm so glad we dove into that. Um because that's more organic and you know a different story than you know we ever hear really. You
Oh
know
yeah, yeah.
that was a lot of
That was
fun.
the weirdest thing about it was being when that shit happened. It was like I said, it was just more of an embarrassment. But I was so fucking high off of whatever those edibles were, and I don't,
Yeah,
like I said, I don't do that shit. So when that happened, it not only was it embarrassing, but I was just like, I was so panicked that I felt like, you know what? Not only will I, you know, turn down the THC, but here's my man card to go with it because that was just embarrassing as shit.
right. Holy smokes, that's fucking awesome. Uh, but holy shit. Uh, damn, this is like I don't want to hang up.
Yeah. You're like, tell me more stories. What else you
Yeah, I
got?
swear to God. Yeah, I swear to God, we have to do like yeah, we'll have to have a series at this point.
Yeah, yeah. We'll come. I'll see if I can remember more shit from
Yeah, yeah.
that life.
Oh my gosh,
And
man.
then we'll do
But
crocheting. It'll be great. We'll,
yeah, there we go. Yeah, needlepoint, crocheting, basket weaving. You know, whatever. You know,
while drinking
maybe.
coffee and eating hot sauce. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. But
That rocks.
you know, I would say at the end, give your socials out, give it everything you're doing, and of course, whatever tours you're going to be on, and
Right. Well, you
yeah,
can definitely
I,
find me on the only two socials I really do. Um, I was on TikTok for a hot second and got rid of it because I was annoyed. But my to follow me on Facebook is just like my name, and it's you can't miss the picture. It's me. So just it'll have Patrick King versus PKing, and then on Instagram it's just hell yeah underscore PKing, and that's also picture of me. I think that one's the picture of me sitting in front of Vince's drums, which is the same as the hot sauce one. Um, at least I think it is, unless I changed it and I was drunk or some shit. But
I can't wait to get
yeah,
that hot sauce. Damn.
yep. And I'll send you over the link to add to this if you like, or anything else for that matter, or just for your own personal shopping wants and needs. And like I said, this one is not in mass production yet, but we'll see what happens. We did a little test sample just to see how things would turn out. And so far, the reviews have been good. So I see myself doing some more work with the Ginger Goat guys. And by all means, try their stuff. Like I said, it's been featured on Hot Ones. If you're familiar with the show, that's the one where people are interviews while they're eating hot wings and sauces of different Scoville units. So
Yes,
it's entertaining to watch.
Sean, I've hit up a bunch of times on how to like do an interview versus like a conversation, stuff like that. So yeah, he's awesome. He's very receptive and very
Oh yeah,
accommodating when it comes to that, which is really awesome. Uh,
yeah.
as big as he is, he still answers things. So
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's
yeah,
cool to get
it's
people
very
that get it, and they
yeah,
understand where you're coming from, and they want to help
yep,
out as much as they can too, which is fantastic.
exactly. Um, but yeah, I mean, wow, this was cool as hell, man. It was God, we had a derailment, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
it
love
works
it.
out.
No, I
Yeah,
love
it
it.
always makes for a good time, even if there's something weird that happens during the course of one of these. I mean, because look how the first one went, and
Exactly.
I was
Yeah,
hammered outside of a bar in L.A.
exactly. That thing was fucking hilarious when I think it was an ambulance or something went by,
Oh yeah,
and I still have that video. I should put that at the beginning of this.
yeah, that'd be great. I mean, that shit was so much fun that day, and
Yeah,
all I remember was after we did that, went back into that little bar that we were hanging out, and me and a couple of the dudes I was there with. I don't know how we got that trashed that fast, but or dude, I remember like going up and like doing like this, like the way the night sky looked in between these two buildings. I got a cool photo. It looks like I did like the superhero landing thing,
yeah,
with arms down and the knees up and that shit. And I think I even posted it that day, and I was just like, "I am the night," kind of something silly like that. But I don't basically didn't remember doing it, and I also didn't remember getting into this uh, little tram train thing that was one of those where it just kind of goes up the side of a hill like a mountain.
yeah, yeah.
And I think I tried to drive it. I can't remember. I know I offended some locals. I can't tell you that.
Oh, hell
but
yeah.
but I had a
Oh
good
my
time.
God. That's awesome. Oh my God.